Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Ruslan G YouTube channel. And if this is your first time to the channel, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, because on this channel, we're going to be helping you become the wealthiest and greatest version of yourself that you can possibly be. And in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the tools in my tool belt on how I predict the stock market. And no, this is not an exact science. I'm not Nostradamus, and unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball. What I do have is 10 years experience investing in the stock market. And these are the things that a lot of expert investors won't share with you right out the gate, but I want to share these with you because when I use these strategies now, I usually am able to find stocks that do 10x or even 100x in the short, medium, and long term, depending on the stock. Again, this is not an exact science, unfortunately, right? Sometimes the stock market can be very volatile and unpredictable. So of course, this is not investment advice. And if this was an exact science, 2 plus 2 would always equal 4. But unfortunately, with the stock market, 2 plus 45 could equal 4, and 2 plus 3 could equal 4. And like I said, it would be a lot easier if it was an exact science. So that's why I'm sharing these tips with you, and take all this with a grain of salt. And hopefully you can learn a thing or two and develop your own strategy around these methods. So without further ado, let's dive into how you can predict the stock market. So the first tip may sound a little bit boring, but essentially all you have to do is keep up with a specific industry and just look at the policies that are going into place for specific industries. Now, for example, if you are super heavily invested in biotech and that's what you're familiar with, look at the policies as far as the politics behind the specific industry that you're investing in, right? So if it's technology and you're really, really interested in robo-taxis, look at the policies that are going in place as far as that industry is concerned. That will help you understand that specific market. So if you think, oh, well, Tesla has, robo-taxis that are becoming more and more available, or you think Waymo is the way to go, then you would invest in Google. Or maybe you're thinking about investing in the recreational MJ space, and so you want to get familiarized with the stocks that are already on the market or coming to the market. So those are all good things to know, but a lot of the money moves behind closed doors. And a lot of policies are made without us knowing right away as investors, right? We don't see the headlines till things actually happen. So keeping up with the tabloids doesn't necessarily work. So I actually want to include this as my next point: is don't listen to the news. When something happens in the news, it's most likely already too late to invest, and you're just buying into the FOMO. So I would highly suggest don't buy into the news. I've heard a lot of things like Tesla's going to be S&P 500, and the stock went up, even though it wasn't even introduced into the S&P 500 until just this last weekend. So be cautious of what you read in the news or you hear on the news, because a lot of times those opportunities have already happened and you might have missed out. And if you buy now, you're just buying into the fear. So another really great way to predict the stock market is to look at something called stock market futures. Now, if you haven't heard of these, don't worry, it's really, really simple. And the best way I can explain this very, very simply is they're just stocks with expiration dates. So if you've ever traded options, you can think about it like this, but essentially these are ongoing 24/7. So if you're someone like me and you like to read things on the weekends or after hours or pre-hours, you can actually look at the stock market futures, and that will paint a clearer picture of what might happen when the stock market opens, or maybe next week. So make sure you pay attention to stock market futures. And like I said, if you haven't looked at them before, CNN or CNBC, you can go ahead and just type in stock market futures on Google, and you might learn a thing or two about what's going to happen in the next couple of hours or a few days or so. So last but not least, and I wasn't sure whether to include this piece of information for you guys or not, because like I said, this is not an exact science, but the beautiful thing about knowing what your industry leaders are doing is pretty much going to paint a clearer picture for the entire market, right? What Apple has been doing on a daily basis has been painting a clear picture for what the S&P 500 or the Dow is going to do for the entire day. Same thing with Tesla, Google, Facebook, all these giants, whoever is at the top of their league, right? If Amazon is doing well, retail stocks typically do well. If Tesla is doing well, tech is booming. So sometimes making a list of those industry leaders, especially the ones you're invested in, can really help you see vividly on what's going to happen in the next few hours, days, months, weeks, all based around the industry leaders in the space, what they're doing. And honestly, if you can develop a strategy where you can use all of these methods to your advantage, put them all together, you will have a much more successful portfolio, a super effective strategy, and you will be this much closer to becoming the wealthiest and greatest version of yourself. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And if you haven't done so already, smash that subscribe button. And if you got value out of this content, hit the like button as well, because those things don't cost you anything and they really help out the channel and help me make more content like this. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.